We all love to travel. We all share the need to explore our world, to see new places, to meet new people, or be near what's important to us. And travel builds economies, and it broadens culture, and it creates connections between societies. Travel powers progress, but we do have to ask ourselves at what cost.
Amadeus is a technology company that connects the entire travel industry to build better journeys. We work with airlines, with travel agencies, with airports, hotels, and many more. And from the time you search for a flight to when you get home from your trip, our technology is there every step of the way.
Amadeus was recognized at the World Economic Forum in Davos as the 16th most sustainable company in the world by Corporate Knights. In 2017, Amadeus was the highest scoring company in our sector of the Dow Jones Sustainability Index. And Amadeus committed to the United Nations Climate Neutral Now pledge and to signing the UN Global Compact. On a more everyday level, we are working to make our offices around the world more green.
As our industry thrives and grows, and there are more and more people traveling, many for the first time ever, we now have a duty to protect our world's historical, cultural, and environmental heritage. And we owe that to the travellers of tomorrow, who also should have a chance to learn from and wonder at the majesty of this earth. From the natural habitats and their protected wildlife, to the many towns, cities and villages, and to the islands and beaches, which offer a world apart from the busy daily life of so many.
I am extremely proud to work for a company that not only supports but embraces and passionately believes in all of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
Long-term industry sustainability requires not only determination, but also joint action on issues that all of us care about, like climate change, the use of natural resources, and the management of the world's most popular tourist destinations. And that is why our environmental and sustainability strategy at Amadeus is based on 3 pillars. The first one is the environmental efficiency of our operations. Second is the development of IT solutions that improve operational and environmental efficiency. And the third is our participation in joint industry environmental initiatives.
There are many ways how we can become much more resourceful. Amadeus was, for example, instrumental in the industry to incorporate the use of e-ticketing and get rid of the paper tickets. We have been also working with airlines to allow travelers to offset their CO2 emissions and really reduce the carbon footprint when you're taking a flight. If you go on the website of an airline, you have the choice to make a small donation towards reducing your carbon footprint. That's being incorporated in your overall flight ticket, and the CO2 emissions is being offset through trees which are being planted in some other parts of the world.
This hard work has helped us become recognized among the world's leaders in sustainability. Most recently, our technology is being used to support children in need with a micro-donation engine for UNICEF. And we have assisted scientists in studying the spread of disease through the Magic Box project, which uses real-time information to inform life-saving humanitarian responses to emergency situations.
What I think is that we are not even terribly inconvenienced if we change our behavior a little bit. And let me talk about 3 concrete examples how we as a company aim to make a difference towards SDG 13, 14 and 15. 2 weeks ago, we have launched a global initiative called Plastic-Free Oceans, Start with a Plastic-Free Office. The response from our employees was overwhelmingly positive. And we are now aiming to implement many of the suggestions, such as removing all plastic bottles and plastic cups from the office, only working with caterers who use biodegradable packaging, and expanding the already existing recycling and reusing schemes. As our colleagues in Bangalore put it, save the environment 1 cup at a time. Another example I'm very proud of is our contribution towards a global movement which began on September 15th last year. Our teams in Asia Pacific were literally getting their hands dirty, and we're joining millions of people around the globe for World Cleanup Day. Teams from Amadeus participated and cleaned up nearly 3,500 kilograms of rubbish from the region's beaches, rivers, forests, and streets. We have many other initiatives. For example, we are now running a competition where we encourage employees to give us their ideas about how we can be much more resourceful. And some of the suggestions our employees provide us will become policy for the company overall.
We are also reducing our electricity consumption with LEDs and by adapting room temperature automatically to the weather. And we have installed drip irrigation systems for our gardens. Finally, we are using motion sensor taps in washrooms to reduce our water use.
Last but not least, at Amadeus, we are passionate about promoting a culture of diversity and inclusion. As a woman in a leadership position, I feel especially strong about gender equality. I'm proud to say that Amadeus is a leader in promoting SDG 4 and 5. It starts with policies and processes such as a clear, non-biased recruitment and selection procedure, gender-neutral job offers, as well as equal pay monitoring. And it goes further. We're investing in programs to encourage young women to pursue computer science, IT, and other STEM studies. We are also working with an organization dedicated to raising the aspiration of girls around the world by connecting them with female role models. Closer to home, I found the organic growth of the Amadeus Women's Network particularly inspiring, and we are now having 19 women's networks around the world actively sharing and promoting women's professional development. As a result of these, the number of women in senior leadership positions has now increased to 29%.
We work with every kind of player in the value chain of travel and tourism, including governments and non-governmental organizations. And we observe how public players and the private sector struggle to find the right collaboration model to address the challenges we have to build a sustainable future for our industry. And we are able to observe, engage in collaboration many places in the world. And what we have seen is that we as an industry across public and private stakeholders, we need to find new ways of collaborating to solve the problems of tomorrow. This happens by engaging positively, constructively, and openly with other players in the ecosystem with a genuine intention of not only fending for your own interests, but in fact wanting to build something that is greater than yourself. And I know that together we can make a difference that will positively shape the futures of generations to come.